Hello, and welcome to me questioning myself, because that's what reading should do. So yeah, I don't really read self-help books, which is probably somewhat one of the reasons why I found myself falling into this rabbit hole. So yeah, I've read these three books. The thing about self-help books is that I don't really trust them. I have a prejudice against them. I don't really, I don't really have a need for them, so I don't really tend to go towards them. I don't need them. Can someone please tell me why I now have read three of them and actually quite like them? I mean, at least two of them. Anyway, so these books being James Clear's Atomic Habits, which I think pretty much look how shiny it is. Is it shiny? I think pretty much everyone has read this book. It's essentially about habits. This is what a self-help book should be. It literally just tells you how to do things, like something as difficult as habits, because that's what we all have. We have good habits, we have bad habits, we have habits that are just like, why am I doing this? This is an actual self-help book. Has it been helpful for me? Well, maybe if I actually tried to use it, that would be perhaps helpful. I quite like this book, actually. This is, yeah, this one is actually useful. Like, there's a reason why people like it. Obviously, not everyone is gonna like it. Stands to reason. We do not all like the same things, thankfully. But yeah, for my two rusty, dusty, green old bent bowed sands, I would recommend this one. If you feel a need to, like, there's maybe something that you want to change about yourself, some habit that you would like to maybe try and stop doing, because this one generally goes into how to make good habits desirable and bad habits undesirable, and it actually explains things so that you can literally help yourself. But yeah, this book has been recommended by quite a few people, which, I can understand why. Another that has been recommended a lot, but people have such weird reactions to. Like, honestly, if you want to read this book, I would recommend going onto Goodreads and read the reviews. They are hilarious. The amount of people who get offended at a book is just because okay, so a self-help book can never ever tell you what to do. It can never command you to do something you do not want to do. You are the person who has to do the things. The life-changing magic of tidying by Mary Kondo really manages to piss people off. And I can get it. Some of the language, some of the choice of words, some of the phrasing is easy target. Like when she talks about thanking items for their job, people really love riffing on that. People really love riffing on finding joy in things and mentioning their socks and underwear, and it's like, but at the end of the day, this is a well-written book. It is a short read. I love the fact that there are 5 chapters. They are split into a lot of smaller parts, and the lettering, as you can see, is large. It's nice. Means it's a nice, quick, easy read. And at the end of the day, again, a book can never command you to do anything. You are the one who has to do the things. And at the end of the day, this is practical advice on what to do when you really, really, really need to tidy up your house, and for good. Like, she literally talks about you doing this one huge tidy out and sticking to it. you just tidy once and then never again. You keep things clean, you put things in their place, but you should never ever need to tidy again, which sounds really, really attractive. And what surprised me is because I went into this book with a lot of prejudice, like but as I read it, I found that, oh wait, this actually makes sense. I did not expect this book to affect me, and the fact that I've already gotten rid of some things that was simply trash that I didn't get rid of because my brain. So this book already has paid off. It has already affected me in getting rid of the things that I generally do not need and have never used. I haven't used for over 10 years. So that is good. Also, the idea of never having to clean, tidy again is really, really charming. The fact is that I'm a bibliophile, so I collect books, so there are books all over the place. I'm also a yarnaholic, meaning that I also collect yarn, meaning I have yarn all over the place. Yeah. But also the thing about Mary Kondo is she literally tells you not to do this straight away. She tells you it takes at least half a year to make this change. Half a year, that's 6 months. This isn't like a magic solution that just you wave a wand and everything just slips into place. No, this takes time. And she goes into the psychology of why you are collecting these things, why this is bothering you and all of that. And to my surprise, I found that I actually agree with a few things here, and I did not expect that. So I do recommend this book, but again, before you go for it, read the Goodreads reviews. They are. And then the last book, which is actually the second book that I read, is one that I haven't seen it mentioned anywhere, but I picked it up because the title was interesting. Is Olivia Fox Cabane's The Charisma Myth, Master the Art of Personal Magnetism. Now, I am a person who has always been convinced that I don't know how to socialize. And, well, I didn't. I actually had to read books to figure these things out. And, well, I do like to think that I'm doing a lot better. It only took me 20 years. But I have mixed feelings about this book. Like, it is useful. Its target audience is business people. I mean, that's very clearly the primary clientele of Cabane. There's a lot of name dropping of big names, very big names, a lot. You might call it humble bragging, but I don't like to judge people, but I'm still judging people. Like, it's a well-written book. It has a lot of exercises, and that's what I think makes a good self-help book. It's exercises, and they are difficult because those exercises are meant to help you with very difficult mental, psychological things. In particular, I would say that chapters 3 and 4, I believe, are the ones that I can heartily recommend to anyone who suffers social anxiety of any kind, actually, who feel that it's very difficult to speak in front of people or approaching others. Definitely a very helpful chapters for that. Where this book really loses me, though, is when she starts dropping yeah, this book loses me, and I lose it somewhat, when, with no sense of irony and in full seriousness, she starts talking about alpha, being an alpha. And as soon as you speak in terms of alpha, even though she doesn't mention like betas or omegas or sigmas, that's a new thing. As soon as you mention alpha, you lost me. I'm sorry. It is an outdated nonsense term, alright? That means nothing. That's why it's called nonsense, because it means nothing. And if you feel the need to call yourself an alpha, by all definitions of an alpha in the popular vernacular, you are not an alpha. Just the entire thing about using the term alpha, the history of it and the implication of it and the people who you see using those terms, no. So it really bothers me, because otherwise this is a well-written book, and chapters 3 and 4 in particular I can recommend, but the rest of the book I'm like, the exercises are good. There are good things in it. It's just, yeah. So those are the first 3 self-help. No, wait, I've read another one in the past 10 years. The first 3 books I'm talking about on this channel that are self-help books. I do have a stack planned for another video. Or 4. I think I've segmented into 4 that are in the planning stages, and I'm still thinking what in the world I'm doing to myself. But I've got the books, I've got everything planned. I just need to read them, and it's a self-imposed challenge yet again. But these are the first 3 books that I've read, and out of the 3, 2 I find absolutely useful, are helpful to me. The third, I mean, 2 chapters out of the entire thing. It's not too bad. So yeah, that is me this time. I really hope you had found something useful. So yeah, I will hopefully see you again some other time, some other video. And until then, take care, and I will see you later. Okay, take care. Bless, bless.